Can you think of 4 crystals that are really good friends? Well, today we're going to explore 4 different crystals that tend to grow in combination stones. Those crystals are ruby, kyanite, zoisite, and although many people call it Fuchsite, it's actually pronounced Fuchsite. Anyway, what you may notice is that you get them growing in combination stones, and I've got several requests. Can you please talk about this stone with this stone kind of combination? So rather than do a whole bunch of videos, I thought, why not cram them all into one? So looking at the different combinations, you know, for example, here is a combination of kyanite and fuchsite. Here is a combination of zoisite and ruby. So, and could you believe it? This is when you know you've got too many crystals. I actually have one where fuchsite, kyanite, and ruby are all growing together. Stashed in a little box somewhere safely. Couldn't find it for the life of me. Spent an hour looking for it today. But you can get these either duos or these triplets, which are really, really powerful. Now, when you get these stones together, obviously you're getting the combining of these energies. So first of all, if you're a bit of a note taker, this is where you want to write your notes. I want you to think about the 4 main aspects of these crystals. So first of all, we have kyanite. Kyanite is shielding, that's your keyword. Then you've got your fuchsite, the keyword for that is glee. You've got zoisite, the keyword for that is harmony, and the keyword for ruby is passion. So when we make these duos up, basically what you're doing is you're bringing a combination of 2 of these or 3 of these elements together. What's really interesting, and we will talk about cleansing later on, when you look at them, of the 4, you could basically pair each with a different element. When it comes to the element of fire, ruby is definitely a fire stone. When it comes to the element of air, you'd definitely work with fuchsite. Earth, I would attribute zoisite to that, and you could kind of say kyanite is a bit of a water stone as well. So it's actually a merging of the elements as well as the merging of these crystal properties. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the most common duos in a little kind of short synopsis, and hopefully that will feed your appetite for these duo stones that you've been asking all about. Our first combination is a beautiful ruby inside some light blue kyanite. It's a really spectacular stone, seeing this blue with these little dots of red in it. So remember, our keywords, we've got shielding and passion. And this is a stone that really helps you to balance between warmth and detachment. Now, often when we work with crystals, we're very loving and we're giving people, but we have to be wary that we don't give too much for several reasons. First of all, we don't want to be over the top, but we also don't want to give too much where people are actually taking of us as well. Sometimes there can be a bit of a hesitancy of like, do I show who I truly am? What will happen if I do that? Will people take advantage of me? And this is going to be the perfect stone for that. This is a stone that's really great when you are a little bit different, a little bit unique, to let you feel comfortable being yourself and showing who you truly are, showing your passion, as ruby helps you to do. But kyanite will shield you from any of the negative energy. I love, as a Gemini, to use kyanite for that shielding kind of aspect as well. Really good when you're meeting people for the first time. If you're in foreign kind of circumstances, maybe you're going to a dinner party or a friend of a friend, you don't really know people, a networking place, it'll help you to really get that nice balance between how do I be my true, authentic, passionate self, but how do I make sure that that energy exchange isn't too overwhelming as well. Anyone who has a commitment issue, this can be really great as well. If you're worried about getting into a relationship because you'll lose your lack of freedom, this will again allow you to put your heart and soul into it, but making sure that energetically you're not getting taken advantage of and that you get to stand independently on your own 2 feet. So any circumstance you feel that you might lose your independence or your energy might get jeopardized, whether that be on a physical, an energetic, a boundary kind of way, kyanite's going to shield you against that, but the ruby will keep that fire within. Next, we have the combination of the shielding aspect of kyanite with the gleeful aspect of fuchsite. A beautiful stone, you get this beautiful green, glittering green with little bits of blue in it. Now, when we look at this one, this is a really great stone for helping you recover after illness. And you get that gleeful kind of sprightly energy that you do find in the fuchsite, but you also have this kind of sensibility of the kyanite. If you're someone who tends to, as soon as you've been sick, as soon as you've got the first ounce of strength, rush back into full capacity, this is a really great one for helping you just kind of ease in and know how much to give until you do reach your full capacity again. This is also a really beautiful protective stone for a certain group of people that tend to kind of bear the brunt of either people's negativity or people's illness around them. If you ever find that if one family member gets sick, you seem to take that on energetically and feel really low yourself, then this is going to be a great guardian crystal for you in that way. This is also because of its kind of gleeful, sprightly energy. It's got a very air energy to it. It's a great stone to use to help with a bit of diplomacy, especially if there's been a long-standing issue. Really great at work if people aren't getting along too well or an ongoing family dilemma. This is going to be a great stone to grid around the place, to meditate with, to help you to find those options on how to get a resolution. You see, you've got this beautiful joyous, optimistic approach of the Fuchsite, but again, a lot of the time we have a lot of muck getting in the way, and that stops a resolution. Kyanite, in its shielding properties, allows, just like we use Kyanite to balance our chakras by getting rid of outside disturbances or outside disrupting energies, it can be really great for just helping us get rid of all the other things that don't matter and focus what's really important. And with the Fuchsite being there, it helps us focus on what feels good, what's joyful, what's gleeful, and what's right. So really beautiful in that way. Now these two crystals combined are a really great one for the mental capacities as well. Fuchsite is renowned for inspirational thinking, and Kyanite is really good for helping focus thought and memory recall. So if you're doing anything where you need to really kind of come up with something innovative, you've been working on something, you kind of need the mind to be bubbling away and you're not getting distracted, wearing this stone, keeping the stone near you is a really beautiful one here, and that's why as a writer I've got a really big piece. Another great thing, this is great for animal conservation. You find that shielding aspect of the Kyanite along with that kind of green fertility and gleeful kind of helps animals to breed. Gridding it or creating grids in your own home that will help animals that need a bit of extra support on that energetic level, it's going to be really powerful for that as well. Next combination is you can find ruby growing within Fuchsite. So that beautiful light green, sprightly green, sometimes sparkly green, with those beautiful red dots of ruby in here. Here we're combining the fiery, passionate energy of ruby with the airy, kind of sprightly, gleeful energy of Fuchsite. This is really great as a relationship stone. You've got the two crystals of the heart chakra, that passionate red kind of pink ruby and that green of the Fuchsite as well. And it kind of uplifts us and it can help to really reinvigorate relationships, and it can also help us to not get so serious about relationships as well. A lot of the time we can get really hell-bent on an issue or a problem or something that's annoying us, and we forget to just hang out and go easy on yourself, your partner and the relationship. We cut our friends a lot of slack, but sometimes we're a lot harder on the people we actually share a home with, and ruby and Fuchsite can be really, really great for that. Now this is also a great one for helping us to navigate things that may arise in a relationship that are unexpected. Maybe one of you will get a sudden change and you'll need to work away for a while, or an unexpected pregnancy, and how do you navigate and how do you pivot on those situations? This is a really great stone for that. This doesn't necessarily just have to be used in relationships. Any period that may be a little bit rocky, this is a really great one for reinvigorating your passion. I'm going to keep using those words to get my point across. That passion side of things, again with that Fuchsite, that gleeful. So feeling happy, excited, sprightly, but also passionate and fiery as well. This is actually quite a great stone to maybe even wear on a first date, because you've got that kind of passionate, fiery side, but that kind of quirky, playful air side with you as well. Now, Fuchsite does have a reputation for being really good for working with both the Fae, the fairy realms, which are the magical beings of the air realm, but also the gnomes, which are the earth. And then you've also got fiery dragon passion energy of ruby as well. So you've got dragons, fairies, and gnomes. If you're interested in working with the elemental beings, this can be a really great stone to draw in them from all the different avenues. Bring in a bit of Kyanite, and you will sometimes find, go digging and looking for them, but a ruby, Fuchsite, and Kyanite are all together, and you can bring that kind of water aspect of that beautiful oceanic blue Kyanite for bringing in the merfolk from the water realm. So we've got aspects of the mythological beings from all different realms there. That's a really special stone to work with, so worth keeping an eye out for that in your collection. Where I often find them is in the tumbled stones in shops. It'll just be a Kyanite and ruby kind of tumbled stones, and there'll be a little bit of green in one, and you're like, ah, there we go, I've got all three. A beautiful trio, a really magical trio for working with all four elements and drawing the gnomes, the fairies or the fae, the merfolk, the mermaids, and the salamanders or the dragons. So that's a great one to look out for as well. The final duet that I'm going to talk about is known as ruby in zoisite or annihilate, and I actually have done a full video on that, and I will show that link up at the end, so if you want to go deeper with this combo, you definitely can. This one, referred to as Romeo and Juliet stone, you've got that harmonizing aspect of zoisite along with that really passionate aspect of ruby. This kind of helps in relationships to bring that loving aspect, that really kind of harmony, nurturing, nourishing side of a relationship, but also bring the passion in there of the ruby as well. I think both are necessary in a really nice, healthy, balanced relationship, to have that lust and that fiery passion, but also that loving, nurturing, caring side as well. And this stone really helps to bring this through. Really good for helping you to be caring, but also assertive. And I actually recommend it being really great for Librans, who sometimes tend to try and make everyone happy, but in doing so will actually negate their own needs. And this stone is a great resource or a great tool or amulet for anyone who does tend to kind of want to keep the balance and harmony in any kind of relationship, and in doing so they kind of like step back on their own needs and let everyone walk all over them. This will make sure you stand up for your needs but care about everyone else as well. It's a great stone for pets, it's a great stone for children, for being confident if they're a little bit shy. It is a great one for connecting with animals and for connecting with nature as well. But I could go on about this great combination as well. Check out the full video at the end for more information about annihilate, also known as ruby in zoisite. If you're no stranger to my videos, you know that I always finish off talking about how to cleanse and the corresponding energies with these crystals. This is where you're going to have to use a bit of your ingenuity, because it depends on the stone and what you feel is going to be best for it when it comes to kind of cleansing them, because they are all different elements. So if I was cleansing a straight ruby, I'd use the element of fire, putting it near a campfire or passing it through a flame. If I was cleansing Fuchsite, I'd put it out in the air, in the wind, with the element of the air. If I was cleansing Zoisite, a plain bead of Zoisite, I'd place it upon the earth. And Kyanite actually is one of the few crystals, along with selenite, super 7 and citrine, that I don't cleanse. Because of the shielding aspect of Kyanite, it actually kind of doesn't take on any negative energy, and I find that it doesn't really need to be cleansed like all other crystals do. Now, what do you do when you've got a duet? Well, think about, do I want to bring more passion in? And that's why I'm using my ruby in Zoisite or ruby in Fuchsite. Well, then pop it near the fire. Do I need to ground and bring a bit more harmony? Then place it on the earth. At the end of the day, getting crystals out in nature, they're going to benefit either way. But think about, what do I want to bring into my life? What do I want to charge this crystal with? And use that element to cleanse it. If you get stuck, you can always use the sun. You can always put it out when there's a rainbow, lightning, or the moon as well. Just throw in a few more options. Now, what other things do we bring in? Well, when it comes with essential oils, with ruby, I work with Rosalina, a beautiful member of the Melaleuca family from Australia, sometimes referred to as lavender tea tree, but really helps with flexibility. If you're working with ruby, then I work with frankincense. It's got that real regal energy, the king of the oils. If I'm working with Fuchsite, then I bring in cilantro, both really bubbly and quite cleansing as well. And if I'm working with Zoisite, I work with manuka, which is real harmonizing, healing. So if you've got a combination stone, make a blend of some of those oils, putting as many drops as you want in, a diffuser and something you're anointing with, however you want to work with that. When it comes to animal guides, well, if we're looking at Kyanite, it's the platypus. If we're looking at Fuchsite, it's the robin. If we're looking at Zoisite, it's the ibex, very much for balance. The beautiful kind of mountain goats that have this real ability to kind of navigate up a hill and, have amazing balance as well. And if we're looking at ruby, we're looking at the lion. Call upon all those animals, some of those animals, play around with that as well. And astrologically, we've got ruby, works really well with Mars, and its power day is Tuesday. We've got Fuchsite and Zoisite, both correspond with Venus, and their power days are Friday. And Kyanite works really well with Saturday, and Saturn. So it's a weekend stone. Any of these combination ones, work with them over the weekend. It's going to be really, really powerful. So I hope I've ticked a few boxes of different combination stones that you may have in your collection. I may find time to do extended videos on the other duos that I haven't done before. If you'd really like an extended video, comment below and I'll do my best. But there's still so many other crystals that I want to explore as well. They just keep coming, but we'll get through them eventually. Anyway, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.